Baldur's Gate 3 was released in 2023 and was developed by Larian Studios and published by Larian Studios, but you already know that, don't you? Because Baldur's Gate 3 came out last year. Officially, it was in early access before that, but it came out last year, received all the critical acclaim, and it won many, many, many Game of the Year awards, and it became the first game ever that won all 5 of the major Game of the Year awards, which is a really cool feat. However, it's not a perfect game. The performance, especially in Act 3 in the lower Baldur's Gate city, is quite poor at times, and if you want to play it on the Steam Deck and you're in Act 3, just forget it. Just don't bother whatsoever. But that aside, Baldur's Gate 3 is absolutely amazing. I have played it 3 times in 3 different ways with 3 different characters, 3 different playstyles, and that's still not scratching the surface of what you can do in Baldur's Gate. This game is incredible. Of course, only for those that enjoy the type of game that it is. It is a tabletop role-playing game where there's dice rolls and it's turn-based combat. And it's very, very good. It's very intuitive. There is so much choice, so many ways you can tackle everything. And when I say so many ways, I mean probably as close to infinite as you can get with all the different ways that you can approach every situation in the game, which is insane. On my first 2 playthroughs, I actually missed quite a lot of the stuff you can do in Act 1. So upon my 3rd playthrough, which is what this footage is from, I was just finding more stuff, and I've put around 100 hours into the game, which is infinitesimal compared to what everybody else has put into the game. My first playthrough, I didn't do everything. I just wanted to go through it and play the story. Second time through, I went through as an absolute savage, trying to just be as douchey as I could. And this 3rd playthrough, I go in absolutely nuts. So yeah, so it's about 100 hours, over 100 hours maybe. So this game is phenomenal, and I just get lost in it when I play it, and sometimes I do have to remove it off of my hard drive because it is 120, 130 odd gigabytes, so it is pretty hefty. But the game is just so jam-packed full of stuff. Of course, there's no DLCs, there's no season passes, there's no extra stuff. The only extra stuff you do get is if you buy the collector's editions or the deluxe editions, but I don't wholly know what that gives you, but that's it. That's all you get. There's no add-ons. But there's so much in the game that it feels like there is add-ons. Of course you can mod the game. I'm not really a modder, so I tend to not really do much with that kind of thing with any game really. But this is just such a damn good RPG. There is so much to do. Of course, you can forge relationships with some of the characters. With this playthrough, it's with Lae'zel, which was very interesting. She's quite... she wanted me to beat the crap out of her at one point. That was her seducing me, which is weird. I've also... for this playthrough, I did not bother recruiting Astarion, the vampire, because in my other 2 playthroughs, my first playthrough... he gets captured at one point for his story by the vampires, and you've got to go and save him. And that that absolutely annoyed the crap out of me because it took me ages to get past that part because there was just so many enemies. It was just absolutely insane. And then, beside the fact that every time you have him, he's either trying to bite you, sleep with you, or just question nearly everything you do. So I just thought, no, do you know what? You're doing my nut in. You be gone. So this time around, I really went more in with Shadowheart and Lae'zel. And it's just so good. That's all I can say. Like I said, it's not perfect. Sometimes there are some crashes. Sometimes you've got to uninstall it and reinstall it because it gets a bit weird. The frame rate will just drop into the 20s for no apparent reason whatsoever, so you've got to do something there. So the game does have its issues. It's not 100% golden and perfect, but what Larian Studios did do is make a damn good, amazing Baldur's Gate game. And of course, they're not making any more Baldur's Gate games. They are currently developing their own IP, which is very exciting. I do have the Divinity games as well. I've only played a little bit of them. I've not played too much, but I am going to go through them. But Baldur's Gate 3, I just wanted to make a video just to say that I just get lost in it. And is there anybody else out there that just plays this game for no matter how many hours you do, but you still keep finding things? It's the only game I've ever known like that. It's absolutely insane. But let me know down below, and as always, thank you very much for watching.
Is to return to the astral prism and break Orpheus free. How we get in remains to be seen.